Remember I told you you get paid how you work. You work slow, I'm gonna pay slow. That's the way it ought to be, right? Black Dragon Cryptomeria. 6 foot wide, 6 foot high, mature height. We'll see how true that is. Quit, children. Jax, come here and get this plant. That one right there. Put it right at the end of the tape measure. That one down yonder. I need it right at the very end of the tape measure. There you go. That's 5 foot. Then I need that one right there at 5 foot. Set that one at the end. Bingo. That looks good. All right, slide it up just a little bit. Bingo.
Wow, Jack, you really nailed it on that.
You nailed it, brother. All right, y'all come here.
Hey.
Don't you get crazy with that now. Jax, come here. Get on this side over here. We're gonna plant this plant right here. Get right here. So what you wanna do is you wanna squeeze the pot and grab it down here at the bottom and just easily pull it out. See how easy it pulls out right there?
Pull, young one.
Pull, young one. There you go.
Good job.
All right, no, we ain't ready yet. You can take that and throw that out of the way. All right, now get down here. Now what you want to do is take it, and with this kind of root ball, watch this. You can kind of ruffle it up just a little bit. See, that makes the roots nice and free right there. That way those roots can dig. All right, now when we did that, what happened? It made it too low, didn't it? So we need to put a little bit of dirt back in the hole. Like that right there. Now look, are we back even again? All right, now lightly rake the dirt back in the hole right around the plant.
Rake.
Rake, boy, get your rake right. All right, look at there now. We're gonna give it a little gently pack it.
I still see some black.
Some black what? Of the root ball?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, that's the top of the plant. I don't mind if that shows a little bit. But look, then we're gonna take this dirt and kind of make it nice and pretty all the way around it. And see all this extra pile of dirt right here we got? We're just gonna kind of rake that out and level that out and lose it right through here. And we'll cover that up with mulch in a minute. It's called a Stella d'Oro. What it does is during the summertime, it comes up out of the ground and makes that, look here. You see it? Makes it, look up in. It makes that yellow flower right there. And when the winter comes, it goes away in the ground, it won't be nothing
and
here.
It dies.
It don't die, it goes dormant. It goes dormant, goes to sleep for the winter, like a bear hibernating.
Like a squirrel.
And then when it comes summertime again, it comes back up, and look, every year it gets a little bit bigger and bigger, and it'll get about that big around.
Until it gets so big that it eats you.
No, I ain't gonna let it eat you. But look, it'll get about that big around, and it'll have a bunch of pretty yellow flowers on it. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And I'm out here at my shop wrapping things up. I think in that corner right there, I think I'm gonna put a Japanese maple, like a Bloodgood or something like that. I'm still waiting on my 2 crepe myrtles to come in. Now today I got my 2 sons out here. We're out here on a Saturday morning and it's time to put the mulch down. I went to the mulch yard the other day, picked up 10 yards of mulch, and I think that'll get me going good. Now this is gonna end up being pine needles, okay? I want to put something down that's gonna kind of help hold the ground in place, you know, erosion issues and that kind of thing, help hold moisture in the ground, and a double ground mulch will do just that. So we're gonna put a real light coating, maybe an inch and a half at the most, on everything, and then maybe midsummer or maybe even in the fall or whenever we will come back and do pine needles, and then I'll be doing pine needles out here from now on. Now when I put mulch down, I'm super anal, really peculiar. I like everything nice and tight. I got a few little tricks, and I'm sure some of you guys already know, and you've been doing it for years, but I'm gonna show these little tips and tricks of how I apply mulch for somebody that maybe ain't never done it before or ain't never thought about some of this stuff, and maybe it'll help you out. Let's get to it. Now, I forgot to say one thing I did do to kind of prep things. I got everything edged. I edged out my beds the other day. I used the Ventrac sod cutter. It worked out really, really great. So I sod cut it and went back with a shovel and fine-tuned it. And after I did that, I took my rake, went over the whole area, kind of raked things out nice and smooth. Any big old chunks or clods, got rid of them. Then I went back with some Snapshot, and we're gonna put a good base of Snapshot down. That's a pre-emergent, help control weeds that are coming up through the year. Now this is Bermuda grass. Bermuda's not a weed. I know you fescue boys, I get it. It's a weed when it's in a fescue yard, but technically it is a grass. There's a common Bermuda, and there's all kind of cool varieties. We got the Alpha Elite right here, overseeded with Kentucky Blue and Rye, and you'll be seeing the Bermuda here shortly. The sun's really starting to heat up a little bit. But technically, Bermuda ain't a weed. It goes dormant when it gets winter, wakes back up when it's summer. Has nothing to do with a seed. Oh man, that lady's out of gas. I might have to go get this lady some gas. I don't know if she's still going. But anyway, Bermuda, yeah, you plant it from a seed or sod or spriget or whatever. The point I'm making here is the Snapshot will not prevent the Bermuda grass from creeping in the beds. I want to make that clear. Snapshot don't prevent Bermuda from running, okay, that I know of. It don't. So the way I control the Bermuda coming up in the beds is I edge it out with a string trimmer like I always do, and I get in the beds about every week and spray it with Roundup. It's plain and simple like that. All right, so it's coming along here. I like what I'm seeing. The way I like to use the rake when I'm moving mulch around is I don't necessarily like to grab and bite and move a big chunk at one time unless I absolutely need to. I like to kind of tilt the rake up, kind of an angle like that, and I'll kind of lightly dig and pull up, go forward and pull up. I'm kind of scooping it just a little bit as I go. That way it ain't quite so bad on your back, you know what I mean? If you're kind of scooping it, when you get used to doing it, you can do it really quickly and move a lot of mulch really fast. And when I get to my edges, I'll gently pull the mulch to the edge and let it fall right down in the groove, trying my best to keep it out of the grass. And obviously if you get some in the grass, you can always go back and sweep it out or rake it out or blow it out or something. But I try not to create more work for myself, so I try to be super easy with that. Then I'll turn my rake upside down with the teeth sticking up, and I'll tamp that edge and kind of lay it back at a slight angle. And once I get done doing that, I actually take the rake, stand it up. I like to walk backwards and tamp my edge so I get a nice squared off look. Now what I'll do is I'll do all my edges like that around hard surface, around the grass areas. Anywhere there's a straight edge, that's where I like to kind of tamp it, square it off, clean it up. That's kind of where I get them clean lines at. What's up?
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
What you gonna tell them?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, you can do that if you want to. Y'all worked good today. You did good.
Yep.
I think you earned about $2. What do you think? $2? Yeah, we'll make sure you get paid good. Yeah, I think y'all done a good job. Started off slow, but you picked up the pace and got it done.
And I did most of this side of it.
You did do most of this side right here. Well, I'll definitely give you that one. So good job. So obviously I don't like leaving big humps and stuff like that in my mulch. So, you know, the guys, they're incredible. They do a good work, good job. Of course, they ain't quite as experienced as me, so you know they leave a little hump and bump here and there. So I go back around and kind of clean it up real good. Man, the place is really starting to look like something. Starting to look good. I can't tell you how proud I am of this job and the way it's going to make my business look, kind of represent my business hopefully, and represent my employees, represent my family, represent my kids, and most importantly represent my King. You've heard me say this before, but the Bible says that whatever you do it as unto the Lord. And that's a heart thing with me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get slack sometimes and I get lazy. I don't do things as good as I probably should do or could do. But for the most part, I want my work to represent my faith. I want when people to ride by, you know, yeah, you can ride by and look at the yard and say, oh man, that guy's he's good at what he does. He does a good job, good work. And they're not going to know anything about, you know, it representing my faith. They're just not, because, you know, the average guy riding the street really don't know me. But that's beside the point, okay? I know that my Father looks into my heart and sees the reason I take my time, I clean my edges, I edge my grass right, I fertilize my grass right, I make it green, I make it look good. It's for His glory, not for mine. Y'all watch this and y'all see all the videos and the how-tos and all that kind of stuff. And yes, it's a business. It is a business that we're teaching people how to grow grass and selling you the stuff to do it and all that kind of thing. At times it kind of gets a little bit difficult for me to separate them two, because yeah, I want to sell you something. Who don't want to make money in their business? Let me tell you, if you in business right now for yourself and your goal isn't to make a profit and isn't to make an income to provide for your family, you need to go get a job and get a paycheck. Yeah, it's plain and simple. So yeah, I got to sell stuff. Yeah, I got to do that. But I can also tell you about who I am as a person, because that means so much more to me than any amount of money that you spend on fertilizer. And at the end of the day, I do my work, I do my job to glorify God. That is at the end of the day why I'm so stinking anal and peculiar. Because if my King were to come out here and walk across this, I want Him to be pleased. Yeah, it is what it is. So by now you would have seen the, you know, I don't know what you call it, the grand finale video or whatever. And I kind of filmed this so I can kind of go back in time a little bit and show you how I do the mulch and all that kind of thing. But it's really turned out good. I'm really proud of this job, this work. And like I said, I hope it represents me, my company. And then I'm tickled to death with it. I'm tickled silly that God's blessed me with an ability to, you know, take a piece of ground and kind of turn it around and make it look something, you know, good or appealing to the eye, aesthetically pleasing, however you want to say it. Because, you know, at the end of the day it is. When you look at nice green, pretty grass and things are nicely edged and everything's tight, and you got color here and there and, you know, plants in the right place. You know, it's visually appealing to the eye. It looks good, kind of makes you feel good inside, you know, yada yada, all that crap. But it's a nice layout right here, and I'm liking it. I really do. It gives me something. I really look forward to come out here and just kind of working on the turf now, you know, working on the plants, keeping everything thriving and going good, working on the compaction out here. You know, I haven't really been working on this ground long enough to try to eliminate compaction issues. That'll be, you know, over the next 2 or 3, 4 years before I actually get to seeing some really, really good results with that. But man, it's incredibly cool. I like looking at it. But right now I got to go and cut my grass because my fescue's knee deep. That protein's got it rocking and rolling. And appreciate you watching. Hope something in this video helps you with mulch and spreading it and applying it and all that kind of thing. And again, I think a lot of you probably already know this stuff, but some of you may not. So hopefully it helped. Anyway, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna get up out of here, go mow my yard. And hey, look, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later. Look at how good that looks. Look at how good work y'all doing.
I mean, at first it was just like a massive thing in the house.
Yeah, it was just a mess and yucky, and now look at how good it looks, man. Y'all did some good work.
Look at over there.
Yeah, I know. You put mulch in front of the building too. It looks nice. How much you reckon this job's worth?
What do you mean?
How much money you think you ought to make?
At least around 80.
$80.
I mean, we did very good.
You did do good. Did you do $80 worth though? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta look your hours up on the clock and see how long you work. Okay. We'll get you right.
What do you mean how long?
I mean, how long you work? You get paid by the hour around here, boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Ain't nothing free.